Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I don't know what was going on. There were hands kind of flying out from behind the camera. I hope that we're actually live. I think we're good. Sorry. Very distracted. Thank you for joining us. I am here with Caleb Grace, designer extraordinaire.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. We were just talking about...
You're the first person to use my correct title.
Oh, really? Yeah. Really? I know it just changed like 3 years ago, so I understand why. But as always, I'm Josh, and you get to hang out with us today while we play the Star Wars deck building game. And I am very excited for this.
Me too.
I mean, you showed me this game long time ago for the first time, and somehow I acquired one of the beta copies for marketing purposes and have been able to play it a lot. So very excited to play this one with you today. And I mean, we were going to do an unboxing, but we wanted to get things set up so that we could get a little bit quicker into gameplay.
Get right to it.
So we're set up, but before we start playing, I kind of want you to give us an overview of what's going on. So we're going to start by talking about these, then we'll start with the decks, because this is a deck building game. We have had a lot of questions about what we mean by a deck building game.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so, we could step all the way, we zoom all the way out and talk about what is a deck building game.
Sure,
how is it different from constructed deck games, say like... Can I talk about other games we make here?
Absolutely.
Okay, right, because I work on Marvel Champions. That is
of course.
That's a constructed deck game. That's a collectible game. It's under our living card game model. And the difference between like one of those and this is the living card games, they're expandable. They've got new stuff coming out every month, you know. And you take cards from different products and you mix them together to make your own custom deck if you want. This is a standalone game. This is what you see is what you get, and in a deck building game you don't come to the game with your deck already pre-constructed. Instead you start with a simple 10 card starter deck
that you constructed for us. Thank you.
Right, yep, that's I did the heavy lifting. So you start with a very simple deck. It's fairly weak overall, but what you have here is a big galaxy deck, appropriately named for Star Wars. And then you have the Galaxy Row. So what you have is cards coming off the Galaxy deck that are much stronger, much more exciting, more iconic characters and vehicles and ships that people will recognize from the Star Wars films. And you're going to use the cards you have to begin with to purchase those. And they'll go into your discard pile, and as you run through your deck, you'll shuffle the discard pile in, and then continue drawing so that the cards that you purchase eventually make their way to your hand, and you start to power up your deck with better cards and everything. So at the end of the game, you just put everything back where it belongs, and you shuffle up and play again, and it's going to play a little different every time. Right.
I mean, with this many cards in the Galaxy deck, revealing different cards every time, playing the Rebels versus the Empire, like every game is going to be different.
Yeah, it's a 90 card Galaxy deck. That was about as big as I could make it before it started to topple over. You know, you won't have to use the Force to keep it in place. It's 30, 30, right? It's 30 Empire cards, 30 Rebel cards, and then 30 neutral. Okay. And the neutral can be purchased by either player. So that's one of the big departure points for this deck building game from other great deck building games other people might love, is that if you're playing the Empire, you can't buy Rebel cards. They won't work for you, and vice versa. You know, the Rebels sadly cannot recruit Darth Vader to their team, or Grand Moff Tarkin. He just won't have it.
I don't think Tarkin would support the Rebels at all.
But instead you have the option to attack those cards in the row. So the goal of the game itself is to destroy your opponent's base by using your attack to damage their base. But if you choose, instead of attacking the base, you can send people to go bounty hunting or try to sabotage cards of the enemy faction from the row. And each one has like a target value and then a reward. So if you destroy, not only are you freeing up that space and replacing it with the next card from the deck, but you're also gaining maybe some resources or pulling the Force to your side, maybe exiling a card from your deck so that you're thinning your deck a little bit.
Cool. So you mentioned the bases just a minute ago. Let's talk about that really quick. So we're going to throw up some images of the bases here. So we are playing the way that the rule book suggests.
Yeah, this is the intro game.
Yep, this is the intro game. So tell us a little bit about just what we're doing. I could, but everybody wants to hear you talk, not me.
So that's debatable, but sure, I'll jump in.
So we're starting with how many?
Yep. So the beginner game it plays the same as what we call like kind of the standard game.
Yep.
You just start with fewer bases, so there's less choice to overwhelm you like on your first playthrough, and it's a little bit shorter game. We'll play to the first person to destroy 3 bases.
Okay.
In a longer game, you could play to 4 or 5.
Right.
Yeah, so it's very much the story of Star Wars.
I like playing to all 10.
Right. You can definitely play it all 10 if you want. My son is always like, we're playing to 4, right? Okay. Then I beat him to 4, and he goes, we're playing to 5, right?
Yep.
like, oh yeah, that's what we agreed
Nice.
to. So I'm just happy to keep playing with my son.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so it's very much the story of Star Wars, right? You know, the Empire has located the Rebels' secret base, and they're sending their forces to attack, and the Rebels are launching their counterattack, you know, and you have those iconic locations like Yavin 4 and the Death Star and so on. Yeah, so early on you're going to start with the same base every time.
Yep.
It's just a starter base that's just to ease people into the game and get focused on the gameplay. As you advance and choose different bases, they'll have powerful abilities to boost your strategy.
More health, things like that.
More health, more synergies with the cards that you've purchased. Lots of really fun, punchy stuff you can do.
Nice. All right. So now you talked about the starter decks. They're
Yeah.
pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Let's talk about yours first, the Empire side.
Yeah.
So you have 3 different cards in yours.
Yep, 3 different cards. You got your Stormtrooper as your basic attack unit in your starter deck. Just 2 attack, no ability, just Trooper traded. You got 2 copies of these, and you can use them to bounty hunt something in the row maybe, or go after your opponent's base. The card you have the most of is the Imperial Shuttle. There's 7 of these, and they just provide 1 resource.
Yep.
So every turn I'm going to play these shuttles down, collect my resources, and then spend those to buy cards for their resource cost. We have a cool little color matching system of the gold resource. It matches up with the gold cost there in the top left. And then you have 1 copy of kind of a wild card. It's the Inquisitor. And the Inquisitor, when you play, you choose either 1 attack, 1 resource, or 1 force, which kind of brings us to another central mechanic of the game.
Right.
Which is the force track. The force is obviously really important to Star Wars, and we wanted to represent that in the game. So we have this little track with 3 spaces on the light side, 3 on the dark, and then 1 neutral space in the middle. And there's a little bit of asymmetry in the game. So like the Empire always goes first, but the Rebels always start with the Force all the way to your end. And if you begin your turn with the Force all the way to your end, you'll get 1 free resource. But really, that's not the most powerful part of the Force.
Right.
The most powerful part is there's a bunch of cards in the game that say if the Force is with you, you know, you activate their ability, or maybe you get a kicker, they become stronger somehow. A great example is Darth Vader. You know, he's 6 attack, but if the Force is with you, he gets 4 more. He becomes 10.
Right.
He becomes very potent. So anytime the Force is on one of the 3 spaces on your side, then the Force is with you.
Nice.
And so the Inquisitor is the first card in your deck that can help you to do that.
Yep. Well, I mean, I don't need help with it right now.
Yeah.
You do. So I know we talked about those. The Rebels have identical cards, obviously different titles. They've got the Rebel Trooper for your damage, the Alliance Shuttle, and I'm only mentioning this because we want to show them the images.
Yeah. No, it's good. I forget things.
Yeah, that's okay. And we got our resources, and then the Temple Guardian instead of the Inquisitor, that is that same wild card. So...
Yeah, so these decks do mirror each other.
Yep, they are identical other than title and art.
Yeah.
And then we do have one other thing that's always on the table that we can talk about really quickly too.
Yeah, the Outer Rim Pilot, that's a separate stack from the Galaxy deck. It's just the Outer Rim Pilots. There's 10 of them. They're always available to either of us to purchase for 2 resources, and they give 2 resources as opposed to the 1 that your shuttle gives. But they also have a neat ability that you can exile, which is to remove them from your deck. You can exile them to gain 1 force. So they're interacting with a couple key components of the game.
Cool. Well, now that they have a general idea...
Yeah, you want to get to it?
Do you just want to go?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you guys can just keep watching. I'm mostly just here to destroy you. That's what it's all about.
I know that's what you're here for.
I feel appropriately
and
aggressive.
I hate disappointing people.
Oh, there we go.
But...
It's on.
I do what I gotta do.
Okay. So I was trying to carefully stack this deck while you weren't looking. So hopefully, nope, I goofed that up. All right.
See, and I flipped my cards over, put the 5 on top that I wanted,
I guess I'll narrate my turn a little bit here. So you start the game with a 5-card hand, and at the end of every turn, you'll draw back to 5 cards. And it's all use it or lose it, right?
Yep.
There's no holding on to cards in between turns. Any resources that you don't spend are removed. So it's just trying to do the best you can with what you have. And right away, I want to show off bounty hunting, because this is my favorite part of the game, I think. So I have one Stormtrooper in my hand, and I notice there's a Duro Spy out in the row there. And do you guys want me to, should I throw the Duro Spy up here?
Throw it up there. We can get the turn sequence out of there.
Yeah. No one needs a turn sequence. So the Duro Spy, actually I should display it this way. Apologies.
You should.
This is something, I haven't really got into yet, is that you can see this section of the card is upside down from the rest. Because when we display it in the row, this is the part that faces me as the Empire player, whereas the rest of the card faces you as the Rebel player. This is my indication that I can bounty hunt this guy with my Stormtrooper. This is his target value of 2, and my Stormtrooper has 2 attacks. So I have just enough to defeat him, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to gain this reward to exile 1 card from my hand or discard pile. So the correct order is this. First thing I'm going to do is discard the card. Then I'm going to replace it with the next card. Oh, and look, it's Admiral Piet. He's a little more helpful to me. Then I can choose to resolve the reward. It's not mandatory, but I want to. I'm going to get rid of one of these shuttles from my deck that's gone. He's just going to hang out till the end of my turn. This game's different from some deck builders where you like discard stuff immediately after you play it. That's not the case here. It's going to stay out in case I had some kind of synergy with that trooper trait. For the rest of my turn, I'm going to play these 3 shuttles and immediately collect the resources they give. And then I'm going to look at what I can buy out there. As I mentioned, Admiral Piet just showed up, but I actually want that TIE Bomber. So I'm going to spend 2 of my 3 to buy this TIE Bomber, which I'll just throw up there if people want to look at it while we replace it in the row.
Man.
Oh, a couple Star Destroyers
Star
out
Destroyer.
there. Well, that's exciting for later, but right now
Right,
I got
expensive.
one resource I can't use. So this goes to my discard pile. And that's the end of my turn. So that resource I couldn't use goes away. I discard the cards I played, and then I draw 5 more for a new hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So you got rid of that shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
What if you had played that shuttle before completing that bounty? Would you have gained that resource?
If I had played the shuttle, I could have gained the resource, but then I wouldn't have been able to exile it. Because the exile is from my hand
from
or
hand
discard.
or deck, so it still needed to be
So the moment I
in-hand.
play, so there is a little bit
That
of
is
strategy in the
important
game
on the
of when
timing.
do I play the cards. I don't have to play them all at once. I don't have to play them at all. If I have a card I don't want to play, I can just keep it in my hand till the end of the turn.
Right, and then it
discard
just
at the
gets
end.
discarded anyways.
Yeah, my goal with the game was to make it very easy to pick up and play, very intuitive in terms of its flow, but then as you sort of peel back the layers and start to learn the game, you discover there's actually a lot of opportunity to make meaningful decisions. A very tactical game from turn to turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, let's see what the Rebels can do.
All right. Well, I am very excited because you did not take that force away from me.
No, there's nothing I could do about it this turn.
And then I am going to collect 4 more from my Alliance shuttles. And I do have this Temple Guard.
Oh, so you could get all the way up to 6 resources.
Could
I'm so
get up
glad
to
you can't get
6,
to
but
7.
not quite to where I wanted to be at
That
7.
Millennium Falcon, that is a punchy card.
Right. And
Here, I'll
it's
just
not...
throw it up for people to look at.
Oh,
while we're
sure,
talking
yeah.
about it. You can play your turn because you can't afford that one.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
So I'm actually going to hold on to this as I haven't made my decision what I'm going to do with it yet.
Sure.
So I will spend 3 to get this Rebel Commando here. And me
want me to
purchasing
pop that
this
up
Rebel
here?
Commando, sure.
The Commando is probably one of the cards the Empire fears the most.
Yeah, just get rid
And
of
it's
your
actually a
stuff.
great example of how the Force is important in this game. So one of the faction themes for the Rebels is the fact that they are saboteurs and disruptors. And so the Rebel Commando has the ability to make me discard a card from my hand when on your turn. But if the Force is with you, then it's not my choice. It's random.
Yep.
And I've seen Darth Vader get discarded or a Star Destroyer get discarded by a Rebel Commando. That's terrifying.
Good. All right, so I could turn this into a resource to get this Fang Fighter, which
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to do.
Sure.
So that Temple Guardian is going to become a resource now. I'm going to spend those 3
Can I
resources
pop that up here for him?
for the Fang Fighter.
This was a little ability I thought was kind of fun.
I like this one.
Because the Fang Fighter's ability is when you buy it, it goes straight to your hand. So that's only going to happen once, right? And again, here's the force being important. If the force is with you, not only does it go to your hand, but you get to draw a card.
Yep.
The force is with you.
That it
so
is.
you get to draw your card, and you have a Fang Fighter in your hand as well.
Well, that extra Alliance shuttle isn't going to help me much this round. I will use the Fang Fighter. Let's see. I don't need to gain the force. What does Piet give you? No, you don't have any capital ships yet. The capital ships that are out there are very expensive. So I am going to use the Fang to throw 3 damage
You gonna attack my base?
into Lothal.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. So yep, the Fang Fighter has 3 attack value. So that's 3 damage. That goes on my base. Here's the little purple cubes that match the purple hit point value on the base.
Almost like you planned it.
These will stay here until this base is destroyed or until I find a way to repair that damage.
Yep.
That is a big difference between bounty hunting versus attacking the base. Is if I were to come up short of that target value, there's no damage that stays.
Right.
It's an all or nothing gamble when you go bounty hunting or sabotaging as the rebels do.
Yeah, and we've talked about sabotage and bounty hunting, but I don't know if anybody's noticed that doesn't exist for the neutral cards. Neither
Right.
of us can take those out. They just exist in the row until
Yep.
somebody buys them.
Yeah, there is an optional rule in the game that's kind of fun. It's called the Payoff Rule, where if there's a neutral card out there that you don't want in your deck but you want to get rid of, you can pay its cost just to discard it. You just buy them off. You know, all the
All right.
mercenaries and bounty hunters, you can just pay them to go away.
I have not used that rule yet.
It often gets overlooked. I don't find it necessary too often, but it's there for people who like it.
Yeah.
So I have a very difficult choice on my turn. I have 3 shuttles for 3 resources, which is not enough to buy, Dengar. Dengar looks really good to me. But it is enough for Piet if I wanted to buy Piet. I could get up to 4 with the Inquisitor,
Could.
but then I would leave the Force all the way to your side, which
It's
is
not
another
really
free
helping
resource.
me that much.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust that. It is a tough call. So actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on to this shuttle. I'm just going to play the 2, and I'm going to spend those to get Piet.
Okay.
Because he's got 2 resource. I'll throw him up here so people can get a little preview of what he's going to do for me later. And of course, I reach in front of the camera so they can't see him once I throw him up there. So there's a TIE Interceptor. That looks attractive, but I can't afford it right now.
Oh man.
Right.
Shoot.
Yeah,
That
I'm
hurts
really
my
on the fence
feelings.
about what I should go for. And these are the decisions that add up later. So I think I'm going to let you keep the Force, and I'm going to use the Inquisitor and this other shuttle for 2 more. And I'm going to buy Outer Rim Pilot,
Yep.
because I'm trying to build up my economy, so hopefully I can start buying these Star Destroyers. So I spent that. And then I just have a Stormtrooper. I'll attack your base with him and put 2 damage
2
there.
damage onto Dantooine.
And now I'm through my deck, so those cards that I bought will get shuffled in.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Fang Fighter. Because of course I drew it. Because I had 1 card that I could draw from my shuffled cards. So I got the Fang Fighter, and with that,
Right
I
back
am
to
just taking out that Interceptor, gaining myself 3 resources out the
no,
gate.
no, that's
It's
not good
okay, I
timing
still
for me.
won't have enough.
Oh no, I don't know if I trust you.
Still
Oh my
won't have
goodness,
enough.
look at that, the Mon Calamari cruiser.
And I still won't have enough for that either.
Oh well, then I am okay with that.
Yeah,
The dark side approves.
right. So there's nothing for me to go after in the row itself. So
Oh,
I'm
you're just
gonna
gonna
put
blow me up.
4 more damage into your base. Not quite.
Oh
I'm gonna
no,
get
because
clo-
you already used the Fang Fighter.
the Fang
That's
has
right,
already been
4
used.
more.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
7 out of 8. Ooh.
And then Dengar, when he defeats a target in the Galaxy row, you get 2 resources. I think I'm just going to drop my Alliance shuttles for 2 more, spend 4 of them, grab Dengar,
Yeah.
because the Rebels love working with Dengar.
For the right price, he'll work for anybody.
Right? Ooh, and there's
Oh,
IG.
IG,
Man,
eight.
maybe we just start building. I'm just going to go full bounty hunter
I
deck
heard you
here
like bounty
with the
hunting.
Rebels. Got my Fang Fighter that they can fly in.
This is a little darker side of the Rebels we're seeing today.
You do what you got to do to get the job done, all right?
Okay, well, I'm sad you blew up my TIE Interceptor because I could have bought it this turn.
Oh, did you want me to rewind that? Because I won't.
All right, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Inquisitor to move the Force 1.
Ow!
No more free resources for you, smarty pants.
Caleb,
All right.
I said not to forget Piet.
Not to forget Piet.
You have him still.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Look at that. Thank you, everyone in the audience who's helped me remember the cards I bought.
Caleb says thank you. I say boo.
All right. Let's see. 2 shuttles to get me 2 resources for another Outer Rim pilot.
Okay.
And then a Stormtrooper to throw 2 damage on your base,
Okay.
and a shuttle that not helping me this turn.
Nothing.
All right, that was a modest turn, which means I gotta have a good one coming up. 2, 3,
Right.
4, 5.
So if I were to bump that force track back to me, and you didn't notice it, I could collect the extra resource this round. Yeah.
That would be cheating. That's something the dark side might do, but the
Oh,
light
that's
side
right.
should
That's
not
right.
do
I'm
that.
not quite there yet. All right. So I mean, not really a whole lot to do here. So I'll get those 4 resources. I'm just going to get 2 Outer Rim pilots.
Oh, okay.
Because there's nothing else I can do with 4.
Oh, you got 1 card left. Is that the end of Lothal?
It will be, but I am also going to discard one of your
Oh.
cards, and because the force
Oh.
is with me, it's at random. So just shuffle those up.
So
Let me know when you're done.
This is the first time the audience seen a rando from the hando for the commando.
Second one from the top. Let's see. What are we? Oh, it's just a shuttle. It's fine.
I accept.
It's fine. You would have gotten rid of that one anyways. And then my 3 damage are going into Lothal.
That's it. Lothal is toast. So when a base is destroyed, here's an important fact. There's not another base that immediately enters play. This is something I'm really happy about. It kind of helps offset a little bit of the snowball effect that can happen in Deckbuilding
Yep.
Game. So that there's a little stopgap measure there. So you've blown up my base. It's going to go to your side of the force track.
Thank you.
That's kind of like your victory pile. Once you have 3 of them there, that won't happen this
When
game.
I get the 3rd one,
I'm
is
just trying
what
to build a
Caleb
false
means.
sense of security for you. Yep.
You're collecting your resources.
Right.
I'm collecting damage.
So let's say you had more units left to attack with. It wouldn't matter against my base.
Right.
Maybe there was sabotaging you could do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if you had 3 attack or 30. You're just getting that 1 base this turn.
Right. And important to note, I had 3. You only had 1. That 3 is
Little
all
bit
having
overkill.
to go in.
But you are currently winning the game, up 1 base to none. The rebels have struck first. All right. So at the start of my turn, this is how this goes. At the start of your turn, if you don't have a base in play, you get to pick up your base deck and you get to choose a base. And I have some good options, but I'm not going to waste the audience's time because I already know I'm going to Corellia.
Yep.
And I'll just throw that up here if that works. So my favorite part about teaching this game to people is this base, and the rebels have their version too. And the reaction's always the same. It's like, wait, what? I get to buy a card for free?
The Corellian shipyards. Come on.
And it goes to my hand?
Uh-huh.
Like, obviously the thematic choice here would be the Star Destroyer, but Jabba the Hutt is sitting out there. And I kind of
Oh, it's not just an Empire card?
Oh, no.
Oh.
No. It's a card
Okay.
that, it's an Empire or a neutral card.
Or neutral. All right.
And I think Jabba's going to help me get to those Star Destroyers. So I'm going to go ahead and throw Jabba up here. And then again, I'm going to block the camera because I got to do that. Okay. Jabba's pretty wild. He's the ultimate neutral card at 8 cost. He gives you 2 attack, 2 resources, and 2 force, which is going to help me get that away from you. And then his ability is you can exile a card from your hand to draw a card or 2 cards if the force is with you, which I don't know if I can quite get that far this turn. But I'm going to start by playing him. So when I play a card with resources, I immediately collect the resources. If it has force, I immediately move the force 1, 2. So now we're neutral. No more
Sorry, my
rando
commando
from
did
the
their
hando
job.
for the commando.
Wow.
As well.
Show the oh yeah
Oh, yeah. They want to see
Sorry, I
Corellia.
had it up there for a minute. I'm probably moving too quick. Sorry. It's the one time in my life people will accuse me of moving too quick. There's Admiral Piet to give me 2 more, and that gets me to 4. I'm not going to get all the way up to a Star Destroyer this turn, but I can get all the way up to 5, and I can buy IG-88.
But
So,
I'm building that deck.
well, I decided that I am too.
All right.
So for people who want to know what IG-88 looks like, he's a big baddie. Oh my gosh, are there... Oh, I thought it was another Moncal, but it's the
No,
Rebel
it's my
Transport.
transport.
Oh, speaking of that Moncal. Let's see. I have a TIE Bomber. And I want to throw that. The TIE Bomber has one of the Empire sort of faction theme abilities, which is they control the galaxy at the time of our story. And part of their controlling the galaxy is cards like TIE Bombers that when on my turn I can discard a card from the galaxy row. It's not defeating it. I won't gain a reward, but I can just bomb it and blow it up so it's not there anymore. And I'm on the fence about whether I want that to be the Falcon or the Mon Calamari Cruiser. And you bought 2 Outer Rim pilots?
I bought 2.
Man, you would have to draw the perfect hand to get the Falcon. So I think what I'm going to do is bomb the Mon Cal and just discard it, and it'll be replaced with Bosk. I just realized I'm not turning these the way
I'm turning them your way because that's the way the camera is facing.
Oh, okay, that
so
makes
they're
sense.
more likely to be able to tell what's
Fair
going
enough.
on with it.
Sounds good.
But normally they would remain neutral so
Right.
the players could see them.
And yeah, then I'm going to send 4 attack. Jabba is going to fly a TIE Bomber to blow up your base.
Jabba is the size of a TIE Bomber.
You know, but I just like to imagine.
All right.
You know.
All right,
So now we are-
Dantooine is
take that over.
gone. You get
Yep.
that.
So now we're tied up there. I have one more resource, and I'm really debating if I buy that Jawa just so you can't. I think I do because
Yep.
I think I need the resource. So the Jawa. This is actually shout out to Tony Fanchi. When he was playing my game, he was like, you know, it'd be really cool if there was a way to get back a limited way to get back cards from the discard pile. And he was like, what if the Jawas, because they're scavengers, what if you could exile one to buy a card?
Buy a Mon Cala
Yeah,
Cruiser.
yeah. So he like salvages like a Star Destroyer or something like that.
Right, it's just sitting right atop their sandcrawler as they're driving around
Right.
the Dune Sea.
That'd be a big payday for them, I think.
Right?
So anyway, that's my turn. I felt like the Empire appropriately struck back that turn.
You did. I didn't like it. But I might just follow suit.
Oh no! Yeah, I left you a big prize.
You
Didn't I?
did. You left me the Falcon and then took out my base.
There was a flaw in my logic, I think.
There was a
Yeah.
fly right in that logic. No? Flaw?
Maybe both.
I try not to listen when people talk. All right, so I am going to play Mon Cala, and I am going to get the same ability you just got,
Yep,
where
yep.
I get to purchase a rebel or neutral card, and I'm taking that Falcon and
Ooh.
I'm throwing it right in my hand.
Oh, yep, that's a big one.
And I also have access to an X-Wing, which I don't have the Force with me right now.
That's one of the mainstays of the Rebel fleet.
Right?
And here, I'll throw it up so people can see. This
Yeah.
is X-Wings and TIE Fighters are obviously iconic to each side. So the X-Wing's ability is if the Force is with you, draw a card. That's one of the Rebel themes. That's their war cry, right? Is may the Force be with you. So when it is, the X-Wing is a 3 attack fighter that also draws a card.
All right, and I'm really sad I can't use the Falcon to its fullest ability right now.
Well, you might be able to if you work it out. There is a unique unit in the
There
row.
is. I could buy him.
That is kind of fun just to show the audience like
Right.
how
Let's
the game
do
works.
it. Yep, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's Bosk, and I'm going for my bounty hunters. So I'm going to play my 3 Alliance shuttles to get 3 resources. I'm going to use them to get Bosk into my discard pile. I'll drop the Falcon,
Well,
which gives me...
let's replace Bosk there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, fair.
And
Okay.
And just to clarify, you could use the 2 resources from the Falcon for this purpose too. You don't have to trigger abilities the
okay.
moment you play the card.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
anytime on your turn. Yeah.
Yep. But I will get the 2 extra from that. And this is where I could get that X-Wing. I could hold off and buy a transport. Show how that works later. Actually, Boss comes into my hand.
Yep. So there it is. The Falcon, a unique unit from your discard pile right to your hand. You're able to retrieve the one you just put there this turn.
Yeah.
It's even better with Han Solo. If we see him.
I've liked using it with both Han and Chewie. I was
Yeah.
able to trigger it many times
Yes.
with Chewie.
Yeah, because they each give you card draw options that way.
So I will use the Temple Guard just to get this closer to my
No,
side again.
boo.
And and then I've just got a bunch more damage. I'm going to get a transport. Maybe we'll see how those work soon here.
Go ahead and replace that there, I feel like.
I would like. All right, Death Trooper. So I don't want you to have the Death Trooper.
Oh my gosh, you
Bosk is
actually
going to take that Death Trooper out.
Oh, wow. And moves the force, buries it all the way to your side again.
Yep, force is
Nice.
now fully with me. That was not intended, but I'm not angry about it.
Man, that happened fast.
Got my spy, and I've still got 7 damage to work with. Nothing in the galaxy row I can take out. So 7 damage into Corellia.
7 on my base of 10. So I honestly thought you were going to blow up my base this turn.
No, I'm glad that I did what I did.
Ooh, me too.
Yeah, but that Death Trooper
you're gonna
gave
get
me
it
the
next
force
turn.
fully. So
Yeah, that's true. And I was actually going to use the force this turn. Not that you could have known that, but I drew right back into
oh
Jabba.
jeez.
if
So
you would
2
please.
back.
If
So
he had
the
left
force-
it there, I would have pulled it to me.
So to make Alex's life easier behind the camera, the force is now going to be just on my side past the neutral midpoint.
Okay.
She's adjusting it for them.
That's a lot of work.
I've realized Casey's come over a couple times to check and see where it's at because I'm not announcing it. So
Yeah.
the force is just barely on my side at this point.
That is just not how I wanted that to go. Well, I feel like if I'm not using Jabba's ability, then I'm just playing wrong. I'm going to use the Outer Rim Pilot first, get 2 resources, then I will use his ability to exile to gain another force, please. And I'll pull it neutral. I'm over here
Back
desperately.
to neutral. on
I'm
the force.
desperately looking for a way that I could pull it to my side and get that extra card draw off of him.
But you can't.
I'm not seeing it, sadly.
I understand your desperation,
I feel desperate.
but we're on camera, dude.
All right, I'm going to discard the Stormtrooper, exile from my hand with Jabba's ability to draw a card.
Yep.
And that was the right call. I got Admiral Piet, gives me 2 more resources, so I'm up to 6.
That's close to a Star Destroyer.
Right. Well, and I'm kind of wondering if I want a Nebulon more than I want a Star Destroyer right now.
You don't need it.
I feel like I do. So I'm going to spend 5 to buy the Nebulon B frigate. And then I'm going to play a TIE bomber.
Jeez.
And I'm going to bounty hunt this Duro Spy. We've seen that before, so I'm not
Yep.
going to show it again. We'll go ahead and replace it with the... Oh, I did not need to see a B-Wing. I'm going to use the Duro Spy ability to exile the shuttle from my hand. Trying to get my deck thin here. So now I have 4 attack. I haven't used the bomber
You
yet.
haven't used the ability, and you just revealed it.
Yeah, I'm going to blow up that
Yeah.
B-Wing with the TIE bomber. That card is scary.
It's my favorite.
B-Wings are... Oh, no, but I replaced it with Han Solo. That felt like that backfired.
Sorry if that was really loud in the camera, but I'm very excited right now.
Yeah, I could have done without that. All right, I'm going to send 4 attack. Again, Jabba flying the TIE bomber. 4 damage on your base there.
I'm proud of him for learning a new skill.
I feel like my base is toast this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Your base and one of those cards.
No! Oh, but it's my choice because it's neutral.
Oh, it's neutral.
Yeah,
That's
what's
right.
Up? Get on my level.
All right.
Just about to start your turn.
I am.
Would you mind showing off some of the cards from the Galaxy Row? They would like to see a couple of them.
Oh yeah, let's
Yeah,
show
Hemi Han
Han.
Solo.
Yeah. So
Hemi
don't
Han.
get rid of your card yet.
Yeah, Han's amazing, as he should be. 5 costs, so he's not cheap. If you have the right hand, though, you can get him turn 1 sometimes.
Yep.
So he gives 3 attack, 2 resources, and he always draws a card. However, if you have the Millennium Falcon in play, you'll draw 2. I'm not happy about the fact that you have the Millennium Falcon.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
he's crazy
I
good.
can't even afford him until I play my cards this turn.
Yeah. We want to show some more still?
So the Blockade Runner is generic.
Yeah, here, let me throw that up there. And that's on purpose, right?
Yep.
In a deck building game, you don't want to overwhelm people with all kinds of text on every card so that you have to read 6 different card abilities every turn to figure out what to buy. Instead, you just have a really solid ship at 4 costs with 4 hit points that'll protect your base. We haven't seen that yet.
We haven't, which is why I bought one, and then you bought the Nebulon B. So they will be coming up, and we will explain that rule once they come into play.
I could just point out, let's pretend this was in my hand,
Sure.
and when I play it, it sits in front of my base. And unlike units, when I discard them at the end of my turn, my capital ship will stay here, like it's protecting the planet. So it has, again, the purple hit point value. So when you would attack my base, you would have to do 4 damage to the runner before you could apply damage to my base. So you kind of pool your damage. If, like, I've been attacking with Jabba and the TIE Bomber, I kind of pool that into 4. If I added in a Stormtrooper, that'd be 6. So that would be 6 minus the 4.
Yep.
2 would go on the base. Yeah. And then they just go to your discard pile. So you can shuffle, you can draw them again. I know a lot of people, the first time I show them, they're like, "Well, you mean I get it back?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, buddy, you bought that.
Yeah.
It's yours. It's coming back. Yeah. Do you want to play your turn now?
I do.
Get it.
So, I mean, I've already revealed the Rebel Commando, so go ahead and discard a card from your hand.
Yes, I will discard a Imperial Shuttle.
And I will do that 3 damage into Corellia to
Well,
take it out.
That's gone. It's gonzo.
And then I will spend the exact 5 that I happen to have
No!
on Mr. Han Solo over here.
My next turn is just not good enough.
I think you'll be fine.
just not good
Hey,
enough.
you want Lobot? Lobot's great.
Lobot's solid. I like a Lobot. Here, let's throw him up so people can see who Lobot is. This was actually great feedback I got from my playtesters. Early draft didn't have as many unique neutral units. My focus on the neutral was just to give people kind of the tools they need for each faction. And they were kind of like, "Can we see some more Star Wars characters?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So we came up with Lobot, who's got that cool headgear, lets him interface, with Cloud City, and as a result, he can help you respond to any situation by giving either attack, resources, or force, whatever you need in that moment. He's a very useful, very flexible card. But now I got to pick my last base. Pressure's on here, as I am sadly not going to be able to destroy your base this turn. I think I've been goofing around bounty hunting too much, maybe. So I gotta figure this out. I have 3 bases to choose from. Let me just throw them all up here so people can see. The first one is Endor. Endor is really solid. It's 16 hit points, so considerably more than the first 2 bases. And while it's in play, each of my troopers and vehicle units gets +1 attack. However, I got rid of one of my trooper units, so I don't think that's going to be my choice. Another one is Coruscant. Coruscant really plays into that Empire theme of ruling the galaxy. So if I choose this at the start of my turn, I get to look at the top 2 cards of the galaxy deck, and I discard 1. So I know what's coming, and it can set up some combos. I don't really have those combos right now, sadly. So I'm probably going to end up going with the Death Star. The Death Star is pretty great, especially as a late game base, because its ability is to fire when ready, spend 4 resources to destroy an enemy capital ship.
Which I just happened
Which
to buy.
when you have resources late game and what you want is damage, that's a nice way to do that. Plus it's the Death Star, so let's do that. I'll go Death Star, and then I will play my turn, starting with the Outer Rim Pilot, 2 resource, and I will exile to get the Force. I have the Jawa for 2 more resources, and I have a shuttle for 1. That gets me to 5. And the Jawa does have that ability, like I mentioned, to maybe buy something. I'm just going to remind myself what's in the discard pile. This is open information. You can look anytime. So I could buy a TIE Interceptor or maybe a Death Trooper. Or I could buy that Blockade Runner that's out there. Given that I'm on my last base, I kind of want another capital ship to help me protect my base.
Oh, you only have 16 health? I'll end it this turn.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried with that Millennium Falcon in your deck. That could happen. So let's replace that with a landing craft. I would have loved that earlier on. This is a great card for the Empire. 4 cost, no printed stats, but instead of choice, on your turn you can either gain 4 resources or repair 4 damage. Could have used that earlier.
Yep.
Yeah. I gotta talk to whoever the regional governor is for mismanaging my resources this game. So I have IG-88 and 5 damage, just 1 away from blowing you up this turn. And I just realized how I could have bought a Star Destroyer this turn if I had saved the 4 and blown up your X-Wing instead. But I think I need to put it on your base anyway, because I need to make sure I can blow you up next turn.
All right.
So as much as I love bounty hunting with IG-88, I need to try to stay in this. Alrighty.
All right. Back over to me. Let's see. The force is on your side. When did that happen?
I'm crafty.
How do I want to do this? Let's see. Do I just start unloading into the base? Could. Should I? I don't. I almost feel like I don't need to buy anything else. Because I've got good stuff coming.
I don't know that you need to either. Honestly, this game, unless I get some kind of lucky break,
Right.
it's not looking good for me.
I'll grab the X-Wing just because.
Sure.
Actually, whoa.
Or Lobot,
Yeah,
another
I'll grab
unique. Oh no, don't tell me you got the Falcon again.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
But if I don't get another unique in here, which, okay, never mind. We're good.
We're playing to 4 bases, right? That's what we're
right. Reminds me of a story I once heard.
Right.
And then
let's replace Lobot.
Oh yeah,
in the row. Yeah.
Gazanti for you.
Another great card I could have used
All
earlier
of these
in the
cards
game.
you could have used.
I'm gonna throw that up there for people to just feel sad for me that it didn't show up earlier. This is the workhorse of the Imperial fleet. 3 cost for 2 resources and 3 to protect your base with a great ability. Discard a card from your hand to draw a card.
Yeah.
That's just another Empire. Like you're all just cogs in the machine. We'll toss you to draw you. Could have used that earlier.
Sadly, I can only do 9 damage to
Oh,
you
get
right
out of
now.
here! Only 9. Oh my gosh, that's brutal.
I mean, I was shooting for 16.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm already half dead. I don't think I'm long for this
He's
game.
only mostly dead.
Right? I don't think I'm gonna last another turn because I unfortunately drew a starter hand. That for all the exile I've done, I still have a Stormtrooper, 3 shuttles, and an Inquisitor, which I need to figure out how I want to allocate. Well, the Stormtrooper's blowing up your base.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
certain.
that's
the
obvious.
no-brainer. So I will at least, if and when I lose, can you hand it to me? I will at least lose 3 base to 2 and not 3 base to 1.
There you go.
And let's see. Oh, that hurt. So I think what I'm going to do is 3 resource to buy the Gozanti, and then I will use the Inquisitor to pull the Force a little deeper to the dark side.
All right.
Hopefully prevent you from getting it. But sadly, no capital ships to play in front of my base. 7 attack is all you need to destroy the Death Star.
That is all I need.
I feel like
And
it's
I drew
coming.
terribly.
Oh, are you serious? Am I living another turn?
You are going to live another
Oh
turn.
my gosh.
Barring some craziness right now. Which, hopefully I stacked properly. All right, so we're going to start by dropping my transport. Oh no.
You need
Start
a
of my
base.
turn. I need a base.
Yes, you do.
So, that's really good.
I need something really good here.
That I don't think I need.
Whew.
You haven't really done a lot of that. Okay. So, not that. All right. I think I know which one I want,
Should we
but
show
I'm
up the
not
options?
100% sure.
Should we show up the
Let's
options?
show them the options. I want you all to pick
Oh, okay.
between Hoth and Sullust for me. So Hoth is great because it just negates the first 2 damage done to my base every turn.
Has that planetary shield.
Right?
Yeah.
And Sullust is good because
No, still Sullust.
when I do buy cards, which I have too many resources this round, but when I buy a card, the first one I buy is placed on the top of my deck, so I know I get it the next turn.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the Rebel sub-themes, like rapid deployment,
Right.
right? Moving very quickly, responding to the situation.
All right,
But
so
Hoth was just like Hoth designs itself. It needs a
right.
shield.
Oh yeah. So I want you all to pick. Have we done a? We're gonna do a little survey. Hoth and
Survey
Sullust.
says. Yeah. Now, are we doing all this and you're just going to kill me this turn?
No,
Okay.
no. Unless
One more turn.
crazy things happen, which I won't look at my top card.
Yeah. I'm in trouble either way, though. I got a couple capital ships in the deck. Haven't seen them. Actually, I have 3, and I haven't seen them yet. It's brutal. It's killing me.
No. Okay. I could make something crazy happen here. It is possible.
You can give me another turn. It's okay.
But it is possible.
I'm not going to beat you next turn. I can promise you that.
I'm aware.
Ouch. Oh.
Where is it leaning?
All right, with 98 votes.
Wow, that was quick.
Hoth wins with 73%.
Hoth
right.
wins. All right, good. I was
right.
leaning towards Hoth. Getting that extra protection is going to be great.
Especially against me right now. I don't have a ton of attack in my deck. I think I'm too used to playing to 4 base. I think I came to this game
Right.
I'm playing a 4 base
Preparing
game
for an
where
extra turn.
I'm focusing on thinning my deck
Yep.
and buying the resources. And I should have taken that Star Destroyer when I had the chance.
You know, I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah. I took Jabba, and I think honestly the Star Destroyer might have been the right choice.
All right. I've got some protection.
Yep.
Got some help from my Rebel Transport.
That's actually a great card with Hoth. Because
2
when
damage.
you do take a little damage, you can
Then
use the... Have we shown the transport yet? I don't think we have.
No, I don't know if we did.
It's a nice little capital ship. It might not look very exciting at first at 2 cost with just 2 resources and choices. 2 hit points. You can gain 1 resource or repair 2 damage. But when you're on Hoth and you're trying to get your opponent to fight past your shield and take little by little, being able to repair that back is so defeating.
Yep. And now you have to deal minimum of 4 damage.
I got to do 4
just
before
to
I
get
even
through the
get
wall.
to. Yep, exactly.
All right, so that feels good, and I have nothing to repair, so I'm going to gain that resource. I'm going to use my Outer Rim Pilot to gain an additional 2. I'm going to spend those on this X-Wing.
Yep.
That X-Wing does not go to the top of my deck because...
Because you went to Hoth.
Yep, I went to Hoth.
Yep.
Okay, and there's a Hawk coming in,
Oh,
which is
throw that
another
there.
repair damage.
Yeah, this is another really useful neutral card. 4 cost for 4 resources, and you may exile it to repair 4 damage from your base.
Yeah.
Always a good card.
Okay. If they had known... No, it still wouldn't have been enough. It still wouldn't have been enough. All right, so I have spent those resources. I'm going to gain 2 more from
It's Han.
Mr. Han Solo.
Oh.
I'm going to draw a card. Oh, and it happened to be the Falcon. And then I can pull
That's it.
Dengar out.
Oh my gosh! And here, 2 cards off Han. Oh no, you already drew. You already drew with Han into the Falcon.
Into
right?
the Falcon, but then I'm
thank
playing
goodness.
the Falcon to get
Right.
Dengar
Oh, and that's
from
it.
my discard
Oh my
pile.
gosh.
I am dealing 11. Wait, no.
12.
12. Yeah, 12 damage.
Oh well, it was
All
fun
right.
while it lasted.
Han Solo summons in the Falcon.
Seems appropriate.
Hey, Chewie, need a hand here. Comes flying in. Dengar's for some reason riding the Falcon.
You know,
Like a horse, by the way.
They,
He's on the Falcon.
Right, yeah. They must have patched up their grievance. You know,
Yeah,
enough credits will do that.
Right. Oh boy.
Yikes. Yeah, it was
That
a long
was-
shot for me. I had Jabba, but no capital ships.
Oh,
So I
okay.
needed to keep the force, exile that, draw 2, and still no capital ships. 3 of them in here.
Right.
The force was not with me, even though it was.
Even though it was on your side
It's
of
the
the
Jedi
field.
robes, man.
Right.
You can't compete.
This did it.
The Jedi robes.
All right.
That's how it's played.
That's-
Death Star.
yeah.
The Death Star is destroyed appropriately with Han flying the Falcon, and that's the 3 base.
Couldn't have been more thematic than that. I didn't even need Dengar, right? Forget that guy. Who needs
That
Dengar?
was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And I will say, I mean, as you mentioned, we started with the 5 bases. We only played the 3 because that's the recommended first game. Personally, for me, I play to a minimum of 4 bases when I play the game.
Yeah.
I have played to all 10 just because I wanted to keep ramping up and
to
see
see
how
how it
far
goes,
it could
yeah.
go. So yeah, this was a blast.
Should we really blow people's minds? Because there's an element to this game that hasn't been mentioned anywhere yet. But I've seen people saying, "Oh, I wish it could be multiplayer." And there is rules. If you have 2 copies of the game, you can play with 4 players.
Yep.
And it's actually from some of my testers, some of my friends, it's like their favorite way to play. You play basically the same game we just played, but now you have a teammate over here with another galaxy row. You have 1 force tracker dividing them, and so suddenly it elevates the game. There's a little more teamwork.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's-
it is this game
Yep.
doubled
Yep.
with you playing with your teammate,
Yeah.
but using different galaxy rows. So yeah, very, very unique in how
Yeah,
it plays.
I just want to throw out for everyone who's like, oh, I wish it was multiplayer, and it's like, oh, well, it is.
Kind of is.
It's pretty great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So I just want to follow up. There were a couple questions that we want to follow up on, and we had mentioned a couple of them earlier in the stream, but we'll cover them again just to be sure. So bounty hunting, sabotaging capital ships, not an option. There is not a...
Oh, yeah.
There is not text on the other side of that card to show that you can bounty hunt it.
Right.
It's just for the regular cards, the non-capital ships, right? Splitting damage between bounty hunting and other things. So if I have 5 damage, I'm bounty hunting something with 3 health. Those extra 2 damage do not move anywhere else.
No, that's...
The bounty hunting we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
It's a number. You have to meet or exceed that number.
Yeah, if you overcommit, then the rest of that is not going to be applied anywhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is a question that I will ask you because we haven't covered this one yet.
Okay.
Are there multiples of the unique characters in the Galaxy
Oh,
deck?
no, there's not. Actually, that was something that was really intentional with the design in the game. Was wanted the impact of unique characters to really be a highlight of each game. So, like I said, 90 card deck. There's only one Darth Vader, one Luke Skywalker, Han and Boba Fett, and all the rest. And so when they show up like he did, it's a really big deal, and it lends to the replayability. So there's multiples of more like the mainstays, like there's 3 X-Wings, 3 TIE Fighters, 2s of most of the other cards. Pretty much every other card you see has 2 copies. And so that, you can sort of rely on the Empire's going to see some capital ships, they're going to see some of these other troopers and things, but it's not a guarantee that Grand Moff Tarkin will even make an appearance.
Right.
As he did in this game.
Luke or Vader.
Right.
Like, clearly we did not stack the deck.
Yeah, and it is
we
kind
would
of
have
fun
seen
with the existence of Mon Cala and Corellia, the ability to purchase those cards to your hand. So I've seen people in games go, oh my gosh, I could blow up your base, but Luke Skywalker's out there. Maybe I better go and try to defeat Luke Skywalker first before I go and blow up your base.
Yep.
Do you all want to show Luke and Vader?
Oh, sure.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, let's do it. I will find them, and
I think those ones were actually spoiled in the article, but we can grab them here.
For those that didn't read the article,
Yeah.
we can absolutely do that. There is one.
Yes. I love this image. So yeah, Luke is the ultimate rebel unit at 8 cost. He has 6 attack, very swingy, and 2 force, and then if the force is with you, destroy an enemy capital ship. So he just blow up a Star Destroyer all by his lonesome and then still do 6 damage.
Right.
And then Darth Vader, again, another amazing art piece there. And 8 costs, 6 and 2, same as Luke, but if the Force is with you, as I mentioned earlier, plus 4 attack. So yeah, very intimidating. And the rewards for these guys are exceptional, by the way, as well. If you flip them over, it'll take you 8 damage, which is enough, as we saw, to blow up Lothal or Dantooine.
Right.
But if you can do it, you'll gain 4 resources and 4 force. So you can actually pull the force from deep to your opponent's side all the way to where it's now with you. It's a big swing if you take out one of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we have one more brief thing to talk about now that we've gotten to those questions.
Yeah.
There's something coming out on the 27th, some kind of designer article that you wrote?
Yeah, I wrote it so long ago. Someone on your team had to remind me that happened. And it was great. Yeah, it was a fun opportunity to just talk about like sort of the inspiration for the game in general, like how it kind of got off the ground and got moving, and then sort of like the thoughts that went into it. We've been talking about a little bit here about where bounty hunting came from, where the force tracker came from, and yeah, kind of how I made some of those decisions. So hopefully people enjoy that kind of insight and maybe even get some excited about the game, see the kind of just passion and drive that I put in the game. It was really a passion project, something that really started that I pitched to the studio. It wasn't like a directive. It was, hey, I don't think anyone's ever made a Star Wars deck building game, and we have this wonderful work relationship with Lucasfilm, and what do you say we just ask them if we could do that? And really grateful to Nate French, our executive game designer, for taking the pitch and giving me the opportunity, and everyone else from the studio who got on board and helped. A lot of people put a lot of hard work into making this happen besides me, and grateful to each one of them. Really pleased with the final product.
Yeah, as am I.
I'm going to steal this box when I leave.
He's mentioned that a couple times.
I got to stop telling you before I do it.
No.
Stop, yeah.
Don't tell somebody you're stealing their stuff. So this is the game. It was great. Look forward to that article on the 27th where we can get into Caleb's head, which sounds wonderful and terrifying at the same time. But as always, Caleb, thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.